You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my co-host Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad, Mark. How about yourself?
Good. I don't have a cough or fever right now, so that's good.
That is good. I still have a bit of a stuffiness in my chest, but it's like spring today here in Metro Detroit. It's like 59 degrees outside and very nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also, International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day, the holiday that no one celebrates. To my children, my mother-in-law, my mother, my beautiful wife. Happy day that no one celebrates.
Yep. Happy Women's Day to my daughters and my wife and mother-in-law and I don't know, all the women out there. Carol, my wife, and I.
You're a player.
Huh?
You're a player.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the women, damn.
Carol and I went to the gym yesterday, and it's a lot emptier now because of the fact that all the people that made New Year's proclamations and stuff like that have kind of started to burn off.
Yeah.
Which is good, because it's always better when, you know, it's easier to do your exercises. But I figured out a way to just clear out the gym even more. It's the best. So anyone out there that's looking for a tip can do this. Any place I go, by the way, it doesn't have to be the gym. When I walk into any place where I want to cut in line, or, you know, I want people to go out, I just lace my middle finger and my ring finger together, like the old, you know, West Coast gang sign on both hands. And then I just scream, "Wuhan in the house!" Wuhan! And sometimes I have a Corona beer in my hand while I'm doing it. And people clear out of the way. You don't have to be Asian for people to be afraid that you're carrying the coronavirus, is what I'm saying. So,
well, that's good.
That's a little tip for all you people.
Way to spread fear. Good job.
Oh, yeah, it's great. But it was nice to be the only ones in the gym. So, Mike, have you had any dealings with the coronavirus yet?
Not that I know of.
There's no known cases in Michigan right now. Although, one of I won't say how I know because it'll get back who it is. But somebody that I know thinks that one of their friends has it, and she's like, "Oh, it's fine. It's not, like, it's just a little cold and fever or whatever," and she just keeps going to work. So that's fantastic. If you're sick, stay home.
Thank you.
People. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just in general, like all these people are like, "Oh, you need to wash your hands." Like, yeah, always did have to really wash your hands. I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I mean, it's bad enough when someone goes, like, you're in the restroom and someone takes a piss and then just wanders off, you know?
Yep.
But the worst thing, those complete human psychopaths who just, like, take, like, a greasy, hot dump and then just, like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Toilet paper's thick enough.
It's funny because, like you said, you know, you always should stay home from work if you're sick, you know, if you don't want to be an asshole. And, you know, you always should wash your hands. My least favorite people, I think, in the world, more than Nazis, are those guys that stand in front of the urinal and, you know, they're like, "Oh, you know, I don't need any hands to hold my cock," and they have their hands both hands to the side like they're Superman or something like that, and you know, their attitude is just, "I've got the best aim in the world." Meanwhile, they're spraying all over the wall and everything.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. My wife once on a gag tried to help me urinate, and there's just piss everywhere. Sorry, it's not just like sitting there and doing nothing.
It is kind of like a live fire hose. Anyway, so I am going to start us off with the Parents Guide game here. I'm going to try to choose my clues a little more carefully. Start a little more obscure because you've been getting them pretty easily in the beginning here. So, under profanity for this film, 30 plus F words, many scatological terms, and many milder obscenities. Any idea from that?
It's Pat the movie.
Fuck. No, I'm just joking. It's not.
That'd be great.
Let's see. In several scenes, characters snort cocaine on screen.
Bachelor Party?
No. I'm going to do Bachelor Party one of these days, though.
I've never seen that.
I actually like that movie, too.
You would.
It's not bad.
It's not good either.
No, it's agreed. It's not good. But let's see. No, that's gonna give it away. A switchblade is pulled 3 times during the film and brandished in a threatening way.
The Outsiders?
No, I can see why you're. I can see why you're.
Sometimes they came back. Sometimes they come back.
Oh no. Speaking of horrible movies, no. Let's see. How about various social scenes often show characters smoking or drinking alcohol.
The Stand. Or no, Stand By Me, I mean.
No.
That switchblade thing's really throwing me off.
Let's see. I'm going to save those for the end. Let's see. Okay, I got to do... I can't really do any... No, I can't do any of the rest of the violence. That kind of gives it away. A woman's buttocks is shown, and a man walks up to her and fingers roughly. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
What does that mean? Does that mean what I think it means?
Is this that Marlon Brando movie?
No.
The one where, the butter one?
I know.
I forget what it's called.
I know what you're talking about, but no.
The Craft?
No. Oh, yeah. Can't say that either. No male genitalia is shown in this movie, even where opportunity would allow it.
Jeez. That's a very vague term there.
There are several shirtless and nude men in this movie, but where nude, we only see them from the rear on, posing or concealment that hides their genitalia. Sounds very disappointed.
Is this Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
Oh, no. I
think there's some straight up dong in that one.
Is there? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, speaking of hidden penises, happy birthday to Matt, who turns 40 years old today.
Oh, is it his birthday?
And who doesn't listen to this, so, yeah, he doesn't listen to this. I don't know why I'm telling him happy fucking birthday. I'm wasting my breath.
Well, happy birthday, Matt, and fuck you for not listening to this show.
May you find many secretive penises and testicles this year.
Yeah, I'm
you
pulling.
Fucking freak.
I'm pulling for you, buddy.
Not the way he's pulling for himself.
Oh God.
Let's just say his laptop looks like Spider-Man tried to save it from falling out of the window.
Oh my God. Oh. Women kiss erotically in several.
Get me Spider-Man!
Women kiss erotically in several scenes in this movie. 2 of the female lead characters have a continuous back and forth sexual tension throughout the movie.
Is this that, I think it's called Wild Things? Is this the movie? Because I haven't seen that, if this is what it is.
No.
Oh, you fucker. I think I know what this is. Is this Cruel Intentions too?
No.
Oh, what? You should have gone.
Oh, I should have gone with that, yeah. A man bites a woman's erect nipple twice, then licks and sucks them in clear view of the camera.
Oh my God, I don't know what the fuck this could be.
All right. Here, I'll give you one of the
Short Circuit 2.
What does he say? Lardals, right? 10,000 lardals.
I don't know. I don't know what he says.
Get derf.
Derp.
Okay, I'll read you one of the violence and gore ones that should give it away. A woman is deliberately pushed down a flight of stairs and sustains multiple injuries requiring hospitalization.
Is this a movie we just saw this week for dumpster diving?
Close.
Oh, this is the original Showgirls then, huh?
Yes.
I don't remember the switch. Oh, that's right. She does have a switchblade.
Here's one of
I don't remember the nip biting though.
I've only seen this movie once a long time ago, so I don't remember a lot about it. But they're under violence and gore. It says rape scene in parentheses, and then this is what follows on IMDb. A woman meets a famous man that she greatly admires. We see them smiling and kissing, and then the man invites the woman to his room for sex. She is clearly into him at this point, so she accepts, but when she gets to the room, she finds herself trapped in the room by two thugs who entered behind the couple. She asks her new acquaintance what is going on, and he replies that, quote, "It's a party." Her face falls as she realizes what he means, and she attempts to run away, but the thugs grab her while the famous man slaps her across the face, then punches her in the nose when she rebounds from the slap. Then they throw her down onto the bed and roughly pull her dress up and her panties down. We see her bared buttocks. One of the thugs is shirtless by this point. We hear but do not see him unzip his pants, and then he proceeds to rape the woman violently while the other two hold her down as she struggles and screams. As the woman is bleeding from her nose and crying, one of the two men holding her down licks her face crudely while the third man looks on in delight. We later see her stumble out of the hallway leading into the famous man's room, nose bleeding, eyes blackened, and blood and other material smeared down her inner thighs. She collapses and is later seen unconscious in a hospital room. I think that's more graphic than the movie.
Yes.
That is like...
I mean, it is pretty graphic, though. It's very unnecessary, the entire thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But who the fuck? Who... just like painstakingly, it's not badly written either, it's decently written, but who like fucking painstakingly wrote this out?
Right.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Much like the movie that we saw for dumpster diving.
Yes. Oh my God. Did you? Yes.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yes. Yes.
We will definitely get into it. If you want to, like we said last week, if you want to follow along with our dumpster diving, check out Showgirls 2 and
Pennies from Heaven, I believe, the subtitle.
That's the subtitle. That's correct. Because her name is Penny Slot.
That's the twist part.
Oh my God.
Would you mind just if I take like a 2-minute break? I just need to grab something real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Be right back.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Do I want to edit this break out, or do I want to just fill time by talking while Mike's gone? So let's try to fill some time and see what we can do. There's also in this IMDb thing under profanity, it says. In one scene, one of the strip dancers' kids, a girl around 8 or 9-ish, and a boy around 5 or 6-ish, visit her backstage to wish her luck. And when they start talking so much, another strip dancer notices the kids and says the F word in front of them, which shocked the kids. And then she says it again and makes the daughter cry. And their mother, one of the strip dancers, hugs her and comforts her and also walks the kids out. This may be sad and possibly make parents cautious of their kids being around when swearing. What? Why? Like, this movie is not for children. This is not... All of this is unnecessary. You don't need to warn parents about this movie because anyone that cares enough about what their kids are seeing to look up the Parents Guide on IMDb already knows not to take their kids to this movie or not allow their kids to see this movie. And anyone that's allowing their kids to see this movie is such a moron. They probably don't even know how to work a computer. It's this whole thing is ridiculous. I think the only reason somebody put this parents guide on here with all this detail is for the game that Mike and I do. They got wind that we were watching the sequel to Striptease, and they decided that what they were going to do, Showgirls, and what they decided what they were going to do was make an IMDb guide. Because Mike, don't you agree? Anyone that cares enough to look up Parents Guide knows not to show this movie to their kids.
You would think so.
All right. So
you just didn't want to edit, so you just kept talking, huh?
Well, I said to the people, maybe they won't hear this. I'm not sure if I feel like editing this out or if I want to just fill time while he's
fair enough.
So I have options now. I could leave it in if I want, or I can just edit it out. When I go back to listen to it, I'll see how it sounds.
Very good.
All right. So I'm ready for whatever you got for me. Which is how
we
Showgirls
discussed ahead of.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have two. I have the Parents Guide, and then I have a brand new game we're trying out tonight.
All right.
Gay or Dead.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
I have as long as a list of names for Gay or Dead as I'd like, but we'll see how that goes. All right, here's my Parents Guide game, and this is interesting. I'm going to tell you the rating, just because the way it's described is very odd. Rated PG-13 for macabre humor.
Okay. Interesting. Just macabre humor. Stand by me.
No.
All right.
One of the characters asked himself what he was thinking when he was with another character, like they were engaged, and then a third character says, physical pleasure.
Saving Silverman.
No.
All right.
There are references to one of the characters, an adult man, being a virgin.
Ooh, an adult man is a virgin. The 40-year-old virgin?
Oh, no.
Okay.
In order to make one person say that he doesn't want to see his family, another person acts sensual and sexy, showing some cleavage.
Saying that he doesn't want to see his family? What the fuck? Is it that one with fucking Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston in an RV?
I'm not sure what that is, but no.
Okay.
A teen boy and a teen girl kissed briefly.
Is it one of the vacation movies?
Nope.
All right.
3 of the characters bury a live cat. Very dark for humor and might offend animal lovers. Yeah, might offend animal lovers, depending on who you're talking about. Having pets offend some quote-unquote animal lovers.
Yeah. So did you say they buried a live cat?
Live cat.
Okay, well, it's PG-13, so I mean that eliminates some movies for sure. Because like I know it's not Pet Sematary because that's an R-rated movie.
And it's on Gummo, which has some cat drownings in it.
Yeah. Burying a live cat, like first of all, why? Is it the Butterfly Effect?
No.
All right.
A woman is about to electrocute a family, and wouldn't you know it, ends up electrocuting herself. I added the wouldn't you know it because it just seemed funny.
She's trying to electrocute a family. What the fuck is this? Electrocuting a family. Huh. I'm gonna say broadcast news.
No. 2 of the characters, they're probably around like 12 or so, try multiple times to kill a baby in violent ways.
Holy shit. Okay, they try to kill a baby. fuck. Is this... Wait a second. I have a question. Is this an animated movie?
It's not animated, no.
Holy shit. Fuck. Trying to kill a... Oh, Baby's Day Out.
No. Profanity. A girl says, damn.
That's not quite as bad as trying to kill a baby. Oh my god. A girl says, damn. Can't be that. Fuck. I don't know. It? I guess it's not it. No, I think I lost you. Definitely gonna have to edit this.
No, sorry. I didn't have to push the talk button.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Then it's just
this one. I'm gonna give you two because one of them just sounds funny the way it's phrased. It's a girl is drinking whiskeys. Just whiskeys? I don't know. And then the other part of that is a character smokes a cigar at camp. He also gives one to his son and lights it. The son is only seen putting his cigar towards his mouth.
Huh.
Dun 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 dun.
At camp. Well, it's not meatballs. Heavyweights?
No, though. LOL. All right, this one. If this one doesn't give it to you, I'm just gonna have to tell you what it is.
All right. Well, it didn't give it to me.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't know. One of the characters and other kids ruin a stage play by setting it on fire and burning people at the stake, though it is not.
What the fuck?
It's possible you haven't seen this, but I assume you have.
Okay. Burning people at the stake and setting...
And the theme of the play is Thanksgiving. I'll add that.
Well, it's not Storm of the Century. Is it some Children of the Corn movie?
No, it's Addams Family Values.
Oh, I haven't actually seen that. I've seen the
okay.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
I say that would explain it because you definitely would remember that might be. I think this is the first time I've named a movie you haven't seen.
Yeah, I usually see a lot of movies.
Yeah. So you lost, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I've lost because I haven't seen Addams Family Values, which I hear from a lot of people that I should see because it's better than the first Addams Family movie.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean that's not really saying a lot.
True.
I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's just like, it's a kid's movie.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now I hope you're excited because I'm excited to play our next game.
I am.
The next game originated because my wife mentioned a celebrity to me, and I couldn't remember if the character was gay or dead. Sometimes you hear something about a celebrity and you're not sure. You're like, oh, I can't remember. Are they gay or are they dead?
Right.
So that's what this game's for. I have a very small list, but I'll get a much better list next time. Okay. Mark, are you ready to play?
I am ready to play Gay or Dead.
The guy who played Boner on Growing Pains.
Okay. The guy who played Boner on Growing Pains. I feel like I see. This is the quintessential one because for me anyway,
it might be for you. Yes, for me, it's clear cut.
Because I know I've heard something about him, but it could be either of those things. I am going to guess that he's still alive and gay.
Killed himself a few years ago.
Oh, no.
DJ Qualls, the star of Road Trip.
Poor Boner. Oh, DJ Qualls, I know is still alive because my wife and I watch Good Girls, and he was... oh, wait. No, he wasn't on Good Girls. He was on Breaking Bad. So I guess
very briefly, yes.
So I guess
that was over 10 years ago.
So I guess he could be dead, but I'm gonna guess that he's gay.
He's big time gay.
Oh, good for you, DJ Qualls.
I'm gonna throw you a couple softballs here. Siegfried.
Well, Siegfried was mauled. Was he the one that was mauled? But he's still.
He is the one who was mauled.
He's still alive either way. So gay.
Roy.
Here's the okay. So like, let me ask you a question. What if you ask me one where they're both gay and dead?
Then call it like you see it.
I'm gonna say that Roy is gay though.
Very much. Although I don't think it's official. And speaking to your point, Liberace.
Well, Liberace is gay and dead.
Are you familiar with the movie Half Baked?
Yes.
Guillermo Diaz, the guy who plays the guy whose name I forget.
Yeah, you're cool. Fuck you.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna say tragically dead.
I'm tragically gay. Paul Lynde.
Well, Paul Lynde was definitely gay, and I believe Paul Lynde is dead.
He's gay, dead, and anti-Semitic for the trifecta.
Yep.
All right, the last one we have for today, I think it's another good one. Maybe I'm wrong. Brad Renfro. Do you know who Brad Renfro is? I clearly don't because I mispronounced his name first.
Yeah, Brad Renfro was in A Time
At Pupil.
Yeah, and A Time to Kill, and yeah. I believe he hanged himself. So he's dead. I know that.
Yep, dead as a doornail.
Yeah, I don't think he went the way.
I don't know if he was gay though.
No, I don't. Yeah, well, I don't know, but definitely dead.
Jonathan Brandis from Sequest.
I think Jonathan Brandis is also dead.
And he also hanged himself.
Wow, what are these guys doing? These '90s kid stars. It's almost
the guy from.
It's almost as if there was a pedophile ring in Hollywood, traumatizing kids and making them kill themselves.
The guy who played Jet Jackson.
Oh, the famous Jet Jackson. I think he's a Maori. I think he's related to the Sisters.
Maori. I thought you meant Maori. I'm like, I don't think so, but I don't think I have a lot to comment on that.
Yes, he is.
And no, you're not correct on that. That's a smart guy.
He's a New Zealander. Okay. So if it's not him, then I don't know. I've only heard the name of the show, The Famous Jet Jackson. But I'll guess that he is gay.
He is dead. He hanged himself too.
Oh no! I don't know why I'm laughing at the fact that 3 young actors have hanged themselves, but
David Carradine.
David Carradine was a self-lover, but just like Gilbert Gottfried, he tightened his belt and came. He's dead.
Yes, very good. Yep, very good. I don't know what your score was, but I know I had fun, and I hope you all did too.
Oh, very good.
Gay or dead?
Yep, great game. We should do some more of those, for sure. I'll try to think of something I could try to stump you with.
That's fair.
I could say, let's see. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. But anyway, on to something vaguely related to Hollywood, so that we can.
Yeah, I think we forgot a topic this week.
So that we can claim that we are still a movie show.
The big news. My wife, I think, tagged us both on Facebook. The Kids in the Hall are coming out with a limited series.
Yep.
On Amazon Prime.
Yep. Just another reason I'm glad that I have Amazon Prime. All hail Jeff Bezos.
Right.
But
even though his girlfriend's brother has a picture of his cock.
Yeah, apparently. But I'm super excited. I think,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it does, like, sketch comedy shows a lot of times, at least, their type of humor, it doesn't matter. The amount of time that passed, it doesn't matter. And I think there's definitely more in the tank when it comes to the Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, a few months ago they were on Twitter asking like if anybody like what they liked, what they do comedically.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I just think whatever you do, I'll watch because, they're hilarious. But I do look like sketches. I like to see their modern, takes on like society and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that was related. Like they're probably like pitching a project to that point or something. Because I'm sure Mark McKinney's probably doing pretty well like financially right now because he's on that Superstore show.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of them are doing various things. I mean, Dave Foley was in Blast from the Past, so I'm sure he's still making
Blast from the Past. What? That was like 20 years ago.
I'm sure he's still getting royalties from that. It's like being in a Star Wars movie or something.
That's when people knew who Brendan Fraser was.
And Alicia Silverstone.
That's true. And Christopher Walken. Obviously, he's too busy playing like Angel of Death and something. So
right. The Angel of Death, it's also like Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life helping you out,
Right.
Oh, God. That is kind of like It's a Wonderful Life, because it's, it's not what the world would be like if he wasn't there, but it's like, hey, this is the world, what it's like, because you never fucking take time for your family, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Wouldn't that have been easier, instead of taking him through that entire thing, if Christopher Walken was just like, look, I'm the Angel of Death, here, I'll show you my power. I can appear and disappear at random for some reason. And you don't spend enough time with your family, you piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't spend time with your family.
Yeah, even in works of fiction, there's no internal logic to religious belief.
No. Exactly.
I mean, what the fuck? Just tell someone. Don't not at any point in this movie does somebody's like, hey, spend more time with your family. It takes an angel of death that works at Bed Bath & Beyond to really tell you all about it through the device of a magical remote control.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Just tell them what you want them to know. That's all. And then if he's like, oh, you're wrong, Christopher Walken, maybe then you have whatever the fuck. I'm happy that I saw what's her name, the vampire lady. She was nice to look at for a couple hours.
Kate Beckinsale, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that part was nice, but the rest of the movie was a fucking mess.
Yeah, but I could just watch Bedazzled if I want to see. Going back to
Brendan Fraser again, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bedazzled is a very good movie. Like I don't know why that. Maybe it was when Brendan Fraser was like falling off the face of the earth. Maybe that's why. But Elizabeth Hurley, another person I can look at for hours. She's in that. Brendan Fraser's pretty funny for Brendan Fraser.
Yep.
For Brendan Fraser level, it's like at a 9 or 10.
Yeah. He was. I don't know if he was ever
for the star of Monkey Bone.
Right.
9 or 10.
I don't know if he was ever super famous, but he made a lot of money from those
Encino Man
movies,
era,
right?
probably. Yeah.
And
Rachel Weisz, how's she doing?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't he? He was pretty famous from Encino Man, wasn't he?
Yeah, I would. And School Ties and that.
He kind of did a Ben Affleck thing on a much less successful level, where he did like a commercial movie, like Encino Man. Then he did like School Ties, which is like from the previews, it looks like it's a harrowing depiction of a young man who's Jewish at a anti-Semitic boarding school in the 50s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Monkey Bone.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he did kind of do that thing.
And then he did Gods and Monsters, where he's, speaking of gay and dead, the director James Whale, who did Frankenstein.
Yep.
He's like assistant. I heard that. I heard good things.
Yeah, I think he's a really good actor. He just makes some really weird choices.
He's been in some. Airheads. I like that movie. He's in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of Encino Man. I don't mean to edge your grind or whatever the fuck it is. So hardcore. My wife loves that movie. He's in that obviously, and I think that was a big movie at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
He played the Encino Man.
Correct.
Well, who else? It was him and Pauly Shore, and wasn't there like a third guy?
Sean Astin. It was Sean Astin.
Oh, was it? Sean Astin is so under the. He was also in Click.
Yeah, going back.
Sean Astin just like fucking flies perfectly under radar level. Like he's in everything. I mean, the guy was in fucking Lord of the Rings, and he's still not super famous.
Yeah,
How can you be a character actor and like just be in all the shit he's been in?
Yeah, it's really weird. But he
was in Rudy, but I mean that's aside from that, he's just like a very capable actor who's not super famous.
Yeah. I
imagine the average person couldn't identify him.
It took me forever to realize that he was John Astin's son, who was Gomez Adams.
Oh, the Addams family.
Addams family.
We planned this all out, by the way.
Exactly. Stream of consciousness plan. We're like fucking William Faulkner over here.
All right, we don't have the,
Right. We don't have the tale told by an idiot.
Or do we?
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of...
I'm sorry, Mark, you told that what?
Speaking of the N-word, my daughter, my 14-year-old...
Oh, Lord.
My 14-year-old daughter showed me this video. It's fairly old at this point. I think it's about 7 years old. But it's a video on YouTube called Rapping for Jesus. Have you ever seen it?
Surprisingly, I have not.
You should check it out. It's pretty funny, but it's this this old pastor or whatever. I think it's fake.
I prefer hip young pastors.
I don't think it's real, but he's basically saying like I heard that to get to the youth you have to rap and everything, and he's like at one point he says, "My crew is big and it's getting even bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is my..." Yeah. So it's pretty humorous though. So you can check that out, everyone, if you want to. It's got like 59 million views, so not like we're doing them any favors, but
yeah. I know most of your religious experiences like with Catholicism, so you might not be aware of this phenomenon, but are you aware of the hip young pastor thing they have going?
Is that like where they've got like a acoustic guitar and stuff like that, and they're like, let me just...
Yeah, it's like oh, the new pastor, look at him, he's like 22 years old, and he's got a wife he's been married to for like 3 years, and they're super positive, and like he has like a streak of blue in his hair, so he's a fucking rebel.
Right. He turns his chair around backwards and straddles it.
Let me rap at you about the Lord.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but I guess they don't have that in your religion because, well, they have something else.
Well, yeah, they have.
They went a different direction.
Yeah, they have rapists.
So what do you think? Hip young rape? No.
But I don't. Just for everyone's knowledge out there, I guess I don't attend Catholic church anymore. So that was something that my parents forced me to do.
Ever since he stopped getting that special attention.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I had to fill in for the pastor, for confession, and somebody asked, what does the pastor give for swearing, or what does the pastor give for blowjobs? And one of the other altar boys said M&Ms.
Oh my! You had to fill in for the pastor? That's a fucking Herculean task.
Yeah, exactly. Had to sit there and listen to people confess their sins and then do 5 Hail Marys and, I don't know, flog yourself.
Do you think people tell all the good stuff, or is it just like, oh, I had it, I'm impure thoughts,
Well, from my memory of going...
When you filled in for the pastor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from my memory of actually going to confession, I didn't confess everything.
Yeah, I can't imagine people be like, oh yeah, I finger fucked my neighbor the other day when my wife was out at the grocery store. When you feel inclined to just make stuff up, though?
Sometimes, yeah, for sure.
Just to get a rise out of them?
Right. I kind of want to do that now. I kind of just want to go find the nearest Catholic church and do that.
Throw a rock.
I don't know. I haven't seen many around. Not Catholic churches. I think they're fucking going down like the Titanic.
Going down like
a Catholic priest.
Titanic. There you go.
But speaking of the Titanic, it was a huge hit, And I predict that this Kids in the Hall reboot will be a huge hit too.
I hope so. I mean, I feel that they don't really get their due. I mean, even beyond that dumb bullshit Rolling Stone list, I mean, they were what? Weren't they like 6? I mean, I know they're behind Key and Peele, which is insane.
Yeah.
But even that, I mean, I can't think of a sketch comedy show that's funnier than The Kids in the Hall. And it's consistently funny, or like we said, at least consistently interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
They're never phoning it in, I don't think.
No. And that's what makes me think that this will be high quality, because they're going to put everything into it. They're not the kind of people that would just do it just to do it.
No, when they did their live tour a few years ago, they had a couple original sketches in there that were funny. I mean, I think some of them had the same, like, characters, like Simon Hecubus. I think it was like new material, though. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see it and see what they do with it. And, maybe they listen to the show. And if so, fucking tweet about us. Help us get as successful as you are. That's what I want from celebrities now. Just help in getting more successful.
There you go. Oh. Well, it's like we're going to get Brad Renfro, the guy who played Boner, to help.
Oh, Boner is dead, right? You said he's dead. He's not gay.
Killed himself. He might have been gay. I don't know. I guess technically he could have also been gay.
That one.
Do you know he has a famous father as well?
The famous father? He had a famous father. He did.
Yeah, I only found this out when he died.
Okay.
Because his famous father was pleading for him to be found.
Uh-huh.
His last name is Koenig.
Walter Koenig?
Yeah, that's his father.
Walter Koenig from Star Trek is Boner's father. What the fuck?
And one of the most fucked up things about the whole thing was when he was missing his former co-star, Mike Seaver himself, Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
He put out an ad. He goes, "I know. We had a lot of fun back." It was so clear he did not keep up with them at all.
Oh my
He's
god!
Like, hey, Mike and Boner were good friends. Which I'm surprised you said Boner.
We had a lot of fun with Growing Pains, but it's not.
We had a lot of fun judging people.
But it's not fun killing yourselves, because now Boner's going straight to hell.
Yeah, he probably would have said that.
Have fun, fucking Chekhov from Star Trek.
I think Chekhov from Star Trek's still alive.
Yeah, he is. Walter Koenig. That's Chekhov from Star Trek.
I feel that it's easier to say Chekhov from Star Trek than Walter Koenig.
Apparently straight, and also not.
Well, he has butter.
Also not Russian, because I think he's just American. He might be English, though. I don't remember.
Ugh. Why do people think English accents sound? I mean, outside of the correlation with intelligentsia and stuff, if you just listen to a British person, they just sound dumb as fuck.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
they
either sound like the smartest person in the world, or it's like, oh, all right, isn't it?
No, even like their so-called posh accents, it sounds like a ghost squeezed himself into a human's body, and they can't quite form the word, so it has some weird effect to it.
Oh, Ricky Gervais, I hope you listen to this. Make us as famous as you.
Ricky Gervais, not dead.
No.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, he's not dead at all. Neither is Stephen Merchant. Both very much alive.
Yep. Well, Stephen Merchant, for sure, is not dead.
Yeah. Some people say they live for each other. I'm just saying. No, man. Anyway, so yeah, I guess the other thing we can talk about real quick is Better Call Saul.
Yep, a new episode of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, episode 2. We're filming this or recording it, I guess, since there's no film.
No.
We're recording this Sunday when the new episode comes out, so we'll be talking about the.
It comes out on Monday.
Whatever. We'll be talking about the episode before the one you just watched.
Yes.
Episode 2, I think it is, or 3. Technically 3.
No, the one we just watched was 3. Because remember they had 1, then 2, in night to night.
Yeah, that's right. But
yeah.
Saul is becoming more entrenched with, with Lalo and and Nacho. It makes a lot of sense. His introduction in Breaking Bad, where he's like, oh no, he's like, it was Ignacio, and he's like, no, Lalo didn't send you, no, Lalo.
Right. Yeah. The last episode ended with Saul walking down the street with an ice cream cone like a fucking child.
Yeah, exactly.
And he drops it when he's accosted by Nacho and is that Crazy 8? No, that's not Crazy 8. Crazy's in jail.
It's one of
Nacho and
it's one of the associates, but I can't remember his name.
yeah, Nacho and another guy. So they they act as if they're like kidnapping or something, but they take him to Lalo, and Lalo basically wants to hire him to act as a go between them and Crazy 8.
Yeah. He wants to get Gus in trouble basically, or fuck with Gus's organization. And so he's gonna have Crazy 8 confess to I know where the drops are and everything. But it's it's Gus's drops. It's not their drops.
Yeah, and then Saul is terrified because the organization he's familiar with, they're just bad people. But he basically makes it worth his while because I'd have to charge $7,000 and like $7,600 to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's make it even $8,000. He just that money is nothing to them, so he just hands them like $8,000. So. He on the good side, he made like a hell of a payday, but on the bad side, he's becoming more entangled with the Salamanca organization.
Yeah, exactly. A place he doesn't really want to be.
I mean, at least he's really only dabbling in the Breaking Bad parts of his personality at this point. I mean, he's more of a con man than at best. He's really never dealt with like full on murder or anything like that. At least not directly or willingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's for sure an evolution, and a lot longer and slower burn of an evolution than Walt's evolution was, obviously.
Because Walt basically episode 1 he starts becoming a criminal, and Saul's really only getting into it now. Like now he just doesn't care. He's got his law license back, and he's been like conning people for about a year or so. So he's ready to combine the two and just explode.
Yep, exactly. So we'll start to see. The guy that has no problem dealing with meth dealers and wanting to be in on it, like wanting to get some money from that, and his loan out and all that other stuff. The laser tag place.
Yeah, they have to mention that at some point, don't they? I mean, he loves that.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, another one of our excuse me. Our character is Mike. We see him a little bit more get into, he's kind of sliding into a depression. We don't see a lot of Mike this week.
No, not a lot. But he gets mad at his daughter, which is his granddaughter, which is the first time that we've seen that ever.
I think that was the last episode, wasn't it? At the end.
Oh, was that the end of the last episode?
Yeah, and this one he just kind of like drinks a lot, like, and he even goes to like a bar and he trades his car keys for another whiskey, but then he starts screaming at the bartender to pull down this picture. And I didn't actually know the significance of this. It's a picture of the Sydney Opera House, but I looked it up. Do you know what the significance of?
I think it was. Well, let me think. Sydney Opera House was designed by a German, I think, right?
Yeah, in last season when the guy he kills, whose name I forget, he told Mike, when they were becoming friends, that his father either designed or helped build the Sydney Opera House. So that, obviously triggered the memory in Mike, which I didn't pick up, but I just saw I get random articles sent to my Google feed about Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I didn't remember what it was, but Carol and I were watching it, and I can't remember what she said, but I think she was she said something, and I was like, no, I think it's significant for Werner. I think that was the guy's name, Werner.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
I was like, I think that's the bar that they were at in that one episode where he.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You could be right on that. Yeah.
But yeah, so but I didn't remember the conversation about the Sydney Opera House. So that it might not be the same bar. Then it might just be because that triggered him. But I remember them talking in the one bar, and I thought that it had something to do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's clearly, Mike.
We know ultimately Mike is fine with it, but he's definitely struggling.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that so? All these characters, break bad in their their own way. Whether it's
Kim is we're still on the fence about Kim.
Yeah, that's true. I don't mean necessarily like every character in the show, but like most of the main focus characters, so like Walt and Saul, and then Mike, obviously does as well, but they're all in different ways, and they all have different philosophies and different attitudes and everything. And Mike is the one that seems to be, like you said, struggling the most with it. Everyone else is kind of like gradually, but but he was also shoved into it a lot more, I think. I mean, he, in a lot of ways, he sought it out, but he didn't want to have to kill somebody, and he had to murder this guy that he didn't want to murder, basically. So I mean, that's a
yeah, but even he realized it was necessary. He took it upon himself. I don't think Gus expressly told him to shoot the guy, but the guy just kept fucking up.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't respect the rules and order of the system. And Mike, even though it's not a traditional, system, it's not law enforcement. I mean, I guess that's not fair because Mike was corrupt when he was a law enforcement officer, but
right.
he brings order to the system of, Gus's criminal empire.
Yeah, he definitely. Mike has he
has a code, and
yes.
He has a code. Whether they don't really specifically go too far into the corruption he was involved in. I mean, I don't know exactly what it was. Probably just taking money. I don't know, but he does have a sense of justice and honoring the rules and bringing order to chaos.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely a big part of his character.
And so far, he can't be bought by money either. I mean, like Gus offers just pay him money to be around, like on retainer as a salary for the company that he did security for last season. But he's basically like, without saying "fuck you" to Gus because he's not completely insane. He's like "fuck you," like as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
And our other big third, a lot of people are. I really like the character of Kim. Kim is a very interesting character. I like, and she's very excited because she has an entire day that's just her pro bono work. Her work for Mesa Verde, is very successful. She's expanded them quite a bit as we saw in last season. But now she's trying to, do stuff that she really wants to do instead of like she was a struggling young lawyer. That's not the case anymore. So she just wants to, kind of like enrich her spirit in a sense. So she has a whole day worth of cases that are pro bono. She's looking forward to it and she's at it. And all of a sudden this lawyer from Mesa Verde shows up and like, we really need you to do this. It's important, so she's really pissed about this. She ignores him at first. And then she gets a call from yet another higher up at Mesa Verde who without saying it, he basically says you have to do this or you're done with Mesa Verde.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that pretty much anybody could do because what it turns out is they're going to build a call center someplace. And this one guy who is a famous character actor, but I can't remember who it is. But he's got a house there. And he's supposed to have the land, and he has a 100-year lease or whatever on the land. But at
the same time, there was a stipulation that he could be bought out for a certain fee at any time. And Mesa Verde is invoking it. They've already moved everybody else out of the neighborhood, but there's this one guy who said he built this house with his bare hands like 20 years ago or something like that. So it's not like his like ancestral home or anything like that.
Right.
But I mean, believe me, I understand that people, have a place they live and they don't want to move. I mean, let's look at the Middle East. That's basically the entire situation there.
Right.
But yeah, so he wants to move and like, they have a team of lawyers, but, only they can't do it. So they go to Kim, who, if you're looking for a bulldog, I wouldn't really look at Kim. But I mean, at the same time, she does have she definitely has a backbone when it comes to, the law because she loves the law. I mean, she loves the justice of it. She loves the order of it. Unlike Saul, who just sees it as like a means to an end, she thinks it should be withheld regardless. And in fact, that's what she says to him. She goes, you signed a contract. You said you would do this. Be a man of your word and leave the property. The guy's not taking that. He basically tells her to fuck off. And then she comes in. And again, this is something I saw online. I can't take any credit for this, but she just like unloads on him. And basically, it's kind of like her unloading her feelings that she has towards Saul that she hasn't been able to express. throughout this whole season and even last, like she has these little micro, like you can tell she's not happy with what he's doing, but she doesn't think it's her place to tell him to do that. She feels that he should know this. He should know that you're a lawyer. Don't, scam people. I mean, don't make up things. Don't switch the numbers on an address to drive your brother insane. I mean, she, I don't know. Does she love him? She lives with him. They get along. I don't know that they don't really seem very romantic towards each other.
Yeah. They have more of like a friendship, like some kind of close friendship or something like that, than anything that like really approaches love. It seems like, and you might have pointed this out when we talked about it last week, it seems like she likes, how he can bring out the fun-loving side of her personality, because she's always, so serious most of the time. But when she wants to get serious, he can't. She can make that transition. He can't, and that I think that's a big part of the the conflict between the two of them.
Yeah, for her it's like a vacation, but Saul lives in this space entirely. Like she thinks it's like fun, like let's con them out of a bottle of wine or something like that. It's kind of mostly harmless.
Yep.
And I think in the episode where they did it was like this douchebag they basically ripped off, so she couldn't feel too bad about that. But
yeah, exactly.
But Saul, he would rather scam than do things legit. I mean, he's tried the legit way. He was rejected from that world in his mind. So now he's going to get back at the whole world for not treating our way by just, everything's a scam. I need to scam everyone. That's what I do.
Yep, exactly.
And we, of course, would be yelled at if anyone were to listen to this for this content and we missed this, but this is a return of Hank and Gomez.
Oh yes, yeah. When you see him walking from behind, and immediately I knew it was Hank. And the other thing too, I pointed this out to Carol, how brilliant this is. We learn in Breaking Bad that Crazy 8 is a confidential informant. Like Hank mentions that he's a confidential informant, and it's like one of those things where it's like they couldn't have planned this, but it's
right.
But it's like it's a brilliant way to bring Hank in, because it's like it's kind of a fan servicey thing. Like people want to see Hank and everything, but it's a brilliant way to bring him in. Because it makes perfect sense that this is how he became his confidential informant.
Yeah, and I like the character of Hank and Gomez as all. I mean, I don't think the guy who plays Gomez, Michael, something gets enough fanfare because Hank, everyone. But I mean, he's a great actor too. He's a fun character.
Yep.
I like the back and forth they have between each other. But yeah, it's a nice way because they I think this might actually this might be something incorrect. This kind of fucks up the timeline because Saul represents Crazy 8, but I think later, Hank doesn't know him. In Breaking Bad, I think he meets him for the first time at one point.
I watched the episode, and I think it actually just lines up, because I watched the episode, or one of the episodes, the episode where they first meet. It's the one where Badger gets arrested. It's called Better Call Saul, the name of the episode. Okay, yeah, it's probably his first appearance too. Yeah, and he comes in, he talks to Badger, and everything. Saul walks out and everything. He's talking to Francesca on his little Bluetooth thing about his pills and everything. He turns around and he sees Hank and he sees Gomi, and then DJ Qualls, and he walks over and says, DJ Qualls, who is gay, by the way, and still alive. Not dead. He walks over and says, hey, I sense you're talking about my client, the Fed. What would the feds want to do with this guy? So he knows that Hank's a Fed already, implying that he kind of, has... I would disagree, because the type of charge, he would probably know about the type of charge, and he should know if it's a federal or a local thing. Well, he says, but he says, so what happens is... and to be fair, he would be meeting them at the federal building. Well, no, they're at the or are they at the regular? Yeah, they're at the regular thing, because DJ Qualls works for the Albuquerque Police Department. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. He's the one that made the arrest, and that's not the only team he's working for. Right. But I guess he found the blue. I can't remember exactly, but I think he found the blue meth, and they called. Like Hank had an alert, like anytime the blue meth got found.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To get called. So, like, he comes over. Now, to be fair, they are wearing their shields around their neck, so he could have known just from their shields that they were...
and he probably recognizes most of the Albuquerque PD anyway.
Yeah, you would think so. But so when Hank says something to Hank, and he's like, what can you tell me or whatever, and Hank says... I can tell you your commercials, are, suck or whatever.
Right.
He never so it's ambiguous enough, I guess is what I'm saying. It does play like they're meeting each other for the first time, but no one explicitly says, we don't know each other. So
sure,
like,
and we know that the writers wouldn't make it, if it were explicit that was the first time, then they wouldn't have tied them in because this show cares about continuity.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Just real quick, the guy that plays the one that won't get off his land. I just looked him up. It's Barry Corbin. He was on Northern Exposure.
The Barry Corbin show.
Northern Exposure. So that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, fair enough. I like this episode. I thought it was good. It's setting up a lot of stuff, obviously. Mm-hmm. We're still... this show is notoriously slow to get started, I think, but I'm not upset by that. I like the atmospheric stuff. The character development is top-notch. I like seeing Kim, kind of... She's really the only one who's... Her and Mike are the only ones who are really on the fence. I mean, Saul at this point is just leaned into the evil side. I mean, taking the name Saul alone is just an indication that he's like, I'm not Jimmy McGill.
Yeah. Exactly. He's rejecting everything that, Jimmy McGill stands for, everything. When he was Jimmy McGill, he was trying to be as good as Chuck. He was trying to live up to Chuck. He was trying to make Chuck proud of him. He was trying to do things the right way. He didn't always do it. He slipped up because, his nature, caught up with him and everything. But he was trying at least to do things the right way. And once he shed that persona and became Saul, it's clear he's all in to, fuck doing things the legit way. Fuck, trying to be a lawyer like Chuck was a lawyer. I'm going to be me, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the person he always was. So we see him, as a young child, not a young child, but, a teenager. Chuck's jealous because Jimmy doesn't do things the right way, but, everyone loves him. Mm-hmm. And that's the person he's going to become.
Exactly.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I mean, the problem with this show is there's too many good characters. I mean, You can't squeeze into an episode. I mean, I want to see more of Gus. I think they're kind of using Gus as more... I mean, Gus, they never really... Aside from the episode where, he was almost killed when he was making the deal with the drug organization in Mexico at first. Yep. Aside from that, we haven't really gone deep into Gus episode. I'd like to see that. I love the actor Giancarlo. He's fantastic. The character is one of the most menacing yet. I mean, I don't hate Gus. Gus has rules, and if you follow the rules, he won't do anything to you. Mm-hmm. I mean, he does have his vengeance against the Salamanca family and the rest of the cartel with good reason, as we've seen in Breaking Bad. So I love how he takes this act of revenge. It's so long. I mean, they don't even see it coming when he finally gets his revenge in Breaking Bad. That's how slow plays for you poker fans like Mark and his brother.
Exactly.
His vengeance. It's just the sweetest revenge because it's ice cold by the time he serves it up.
Oh yeah. And for those of you playing at home, Gus Fring, gay and dead.
Yeah, that's not the shittiest thing. He takes this long revenge, and then some fuck up just blows him up.
Seriously,
he's whispering. This is the apex of his plan.
The more I see of, the more Breaking Bad went on, and the more I see of Better Call Saul, the more I take Mike's point of view, where it's like, fuck, Walter, you're just a fucking asshole.
And he's a fuck up.
Like, he fucks everything up. And, he says, oh, I was good at it. I liked it or whatever. You weren't fucking good at it. You destroyed everything.
He was good at making meth. He was not. He should have just done the deal where he just took, the $2 or $3 billion a month from Gus and been satisfied with that. I mean, that's more money than he needs. I mean, but he wants to be, like you said, he wants to be Coca-Cola. Well, you need better managers for Coca-Cola. You can't just have some guy who was a chemistry teacher 6 months ago create like the world's largest drug empire.
Exactly. Oh, fuck.
And it's like when he's whispering to say, he's like, oh, by the way, Hector, I killed your family. I killed all your friends. You're the last one dead. You left your nephews. I manipulated Hank into killing them. Everybody is dead, and it's all because of you, and I got my revenge. And then, oh, wait, you're killing me. Like, Hector wins in that one? Thanks a lot, Walt.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck. Oh, man, Better Call Saul is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Oh, you know what? Oh, real quick before we go. Speaking of Gus, I don't know if you've heard this story or not, but this is so crazy to me. So, Giancarlo Esposito, like you pointed out, had been a guest star, like character actor on a lot of TV shows during his career. He was called in to do one episode of Breaking Bad, and the only direction about his character that he was given was nice man who sells chicken. So Giancarlo Esposito decided, I'm going to play this like this guy's got a secret. And that's how I'm going to play it, because he wanted to try to get called back onto the show. So that's how he played it. Vince Gilligan and the other producers and stuff liked what they saw, and they were like, hey, come back for another couple episodes. The same time, the guy that was playing Tuco was supposed to be like the big bad, like the big bad force for, a couple seasons. But that actor had previous engagements, and he had to bow out of the show. So they're trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to, like, what villain are we going to replace this with? And they turned to Gus and they were like, hey, let's start setting some stuff up. We'll bring this guy back for another couple episodes. Let's start setting some stuff up and see kind of where it goes. So that's what they started to do. And then they went to Giancarlo Esposito and they were like, hey, we want you to, to like have a more prominent role. So, we'll bring you back. We'll pay you, like a pretty good amount of money. We'll pay you this money. We'll sign a contract for like, as a guest star on the next season. And he goes, no, I'm not going to do that. And so they come back and they're like, okay, well, we'll give you more money and you can be like, we'll bill you here or whatever. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. And he was sick of guest starring on shows. And so finally they were like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I want to be the main cast. I don't want to be a guest star. I want to be billed as main cast, and I want to be part of the main cast of the show. I don't want to be a guest star anymore. So they finally, they'd set this stuff up. So he kind of had all the cards, and they were like, okay. So, they did it, and that's how he got on the show, though. But they had not planned on making Gus this long arc. It just like all these pieces fell into place.
Well, good for him, because he is one of the best villains on any TV show ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, good for the writers to be that malleable and that able to take what they've got and build something great. And good for him and good for him having the confidence in himself and his career to be like, I don't care if this is more money than, I usually get paid for whatever, I want to be part of fucking something. So I want to be part of the cast.
He'd been acting for a long time at that point. He was in he's in an 80s, he's in Trading Places or Coming to America. I think it's Coming to America. When they're in jail.
Yes.
He's like this skinny, yeah, that's him. That's so he'd been kicking around acting for at least 20 years at that point. So he definitely was in the right place at the right time, but a lot of that obviously was his talent and ability as an actor, because he's my favorite character on the show. Him and Mike, I like those two the best.
Yep, me too.
And Breaking Bad as well. And I like Saul. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I like Saul better on Breaking Bad than Better Call Saul, because he's just comic relief really on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's definitely
for the most part. Not near the end, obviously. He's like no. I mean, and as we discussed, he's definitely involved in, at the very least, indirectly in some kind of murders at some point.
Yeah.
So he's not a great guy. But I mean, and don't get me wrong. I feel that in Better Call Saul, this sounds weird, but the show is the star. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but the way the show's
no.
put together, like the entire show itself, I mean, you couldn't take a piece out and not have it be as good of a show. That's for sure. I mean, it's just it's almost like you expect great acting to be in any Vince Gilligan show. I mean, that's just like a given. We're just like spoiled.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll have great acting. You don't even notice it.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I think I don't want to call it a formula necessarily, but I think the way the show's put together, and I think the acting,
it's greater than, even though the sum of its parts is excellent, top notch,
Mm-hmm.
the best TV. Every person on the show should win an award. That's how good the acting is.
Yeah.
But even in spite of that, it's still greater than some of its parts. I mean, there's so much going on in the show, and it's just so perfectly put together. It's just like I mean, people who I would never have thought of myself to say that a TV show is a piece of art, but this is art. This is what we're watching. We're watching brilliance just shooting all over the screen.
Absolutely. Speaking of shooting all over the screen, we would be remiss if we didn't make another David. What the fuck is his name? God damn it!
Carradine?
Yeah, David Carradine joke before we left for the day. Oh fuck! I fucked that joke up. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that is the show. Why don't you go to Twitter at Massive Late Fee? Why don't you write to us, massivelatefee@gmail.com? I'll get some letters next week. There's some letters in the hopper that we can read, and we're running short on time now. But I will. I'll queue some of those up for next week and read some of your you guys took the time. We appreciate it to write to us, and I'll start doing that more consistently on a weekly basis. But anyway,
I like the letters, except for that piece of shit Brandon. But whatever.
But until next time, we will talk to you later. Bye.
I bet if Brandon was on Better Call Saul, it'd be a complete piece of shit.
Do you think Brandon is still alive?
I'm assuming so.
Just saying.
I hope so. I mean, I dislike him, but I don't wish him ill.
All right.
Probably watching fucking Star Wars, but I mean, what can you do? Well, you guys should review The Mandalorian. It's got a baby Yoda.
I did watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, I think we did review that. Or you did, at least.
Yeah, I think I talked about it. I don't know.
I kind of tuned out during that part. Sorry.
Giancarlo Esposito's in The Mandalorian.
That's interesting. I like Pedro Pascal, too. They should do something other than that together.
I think you'd like The Mandalorian because it's very low on Star Wars. It's more of a Western.
Yeah. I just like Star Wars enough that it would distract me, I think. I'm sure you're right, but I have no interest. And plus, I don't want to get Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you my password off.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk